If you ever wanted some of the best ships in the game in terms of their random battles performance and in terms of their performance in competitive modes and their popularity in competitive modes like COTS and clan battles, along with some of the single most fun ships in the game based on their, well, fun factor, it is time to take action, dear viewer. You see, a good chunk of these ships are located in the armory in the Research Bureau. The Research Bureau, if you don't know how that works, what you do is you saunter on over there from the armory menu, and you'll see ships like the Ohio, the Slava, the Siegfried, the Apollo Emilio, the Gibraltar, so forth, and so on available in the Research Bureau. However, you gotta, well, earn Research Bureau points. These points are obtained by resetting entire tech lines and grinding right on through them again and again and again, multiple times. Depending upon what ship you want exactly, it'll take you anywhere from 5 to 6-ish resets in order to acquire said ship. Now, what's changed here recently is that the somewhat tri-monthly reset of the booster has gone through, meaning that if you look on the screen in front of you, you'll notice at the bottom of my tech trees there's a nice ×2 icon there, which means that if you reset the line right now, you will get double the amount of Research Bureau points needed that you would normally get from the line into your account for resetting that line. Now, they do this once every 3-ish months, and it helps cut down on the, amount of lines you have to reset. Now, the Research Bureau isn't only there for ships. This is also where you acquire the unique upgrades for, your favorite ship in the game, if it does have one, and you acquire them by doing the same thing. What we're going to discuss in today's video is how to make the most of this opportunity and what ships you should pick up in the Research Bureau. So there are a couple of ways to get Research Bureau points in the game. You probably already have some. They do occasionally hand them out as part of events, rewards for missions. They used to do them for Dockyard, for I think every other Dockyard, maybe it was just once or twice back in the day, you would get Research Bureau points instead of still from buying your way through the Dockyard. But either way, there's a good chance you have some in your wallet already, so you should check and see how many you got. And that's, of course, going to determine how much, you have to grind in order to get more of these Research Bureau points. But what ship should you get first? Well, in my opinion, there's really only one ship in the Research Bureau that you should definitely get during your time here at World of Warships, and that is the Ohio, the ship you're watching in the background. Ohio is a fantastic ship that will do you well in random battles. It'll do you well in competitive, like ranked clan battles and even COTS if you get to that point. And Ohio is it's such a well-made ship. It's essentially a Montana with 8 457mm guns and the ability to build interior sectors to get them out to a usable range. They have a fast reload time and a good fire chance as well. You get an improved American battleship heal with a quick cooldown time on top of the improved American battleship damage con with a quick cooldown time as well. The Montana hull is also fairly tanky from the get-go, but then you throw that quick cooldown damage con on top of that quick cooldown heal with the extended American runtime of the damage con and the improved heal. You have quite a survivable ship there with those 8 18-inch guns. Now, they are 457s and not 460s, so they can overmatch 30mm, not 32, so you can bully cruisers and such, but you can't overmatch the bow and extremities of other battleships in the game. And this is the one ship I would highly recommend you get. It's great for random battles. It'll do you very well in competitive. If you're trying to get into a clan and you have an Ohio, they'll probably take you on that alone because, again, it's just such a good ship. You can build it from main battery guns, you can build it into its tankiness, you can build into secondaries for some fun and random battles and an asymmetrics. So it's just a great all-around ship. If you already have the Ohio and are wondering what I would suggest next, Slava's a good pickup for the current meta. It's a Kremlin with 16-inch guns with basically battle cruiser armor, but you get like railgun accurate 16-inch guns. The shells defy the laws of physics. They are very, very comfortable shooting at longer ranges. I would then maybe suggest either the Apollo Emilio or the Siegfried. Apollo Emilio is a goofy little destroyer with an exhaust smoke and an engine boost and torpedoes that can take out a tier 10 battleship in one run. Hi, Montana. Hi, Petro. So it's a goofy little fun destroyer. Siegfried is basically in a gear with 6 15-inch guns with some very, very nice accuracy on those guns. So 15-inch a gear, essentially. And those are the ships that I would recommend in the Research Bureau. Oh, and the Illinois, the Tier 9 American battleship that has 12 Des Moines guns. It's stupid. It's fun. I would recommend those. Those are the ones I would recommend, but really only the Ohio is the one I would say you should for sure try to get. So how do you get the most out of this reset, and how do you exploit this to its maximum? Well, there's one line you need to have as a prerequisite for this, and that is the Harugumo line. The Harugumo line is the cheapest line to reset. If you have like a stockpile of free XP, like many of us older players do, you could potentially get probably just 2 resets out of the Harugumo line if you have just been playing the game for some time and have been letting your free XP just accumulate. I use my free XP a lot to reset my commanders and such when I move them from ship to ship. So I usually hover around, you know, a million-ish free XP, and again, that's with me using them to reset commanders all the time. So again, if you're like me, you play a lot of premium ships, or you just play play the game a high amount, you can probably already go ahead and get 2 or maybe even 3 resets out of the Harugumo line. So if you're going to do it from that way, I would highly recommend finding a premium ship that you like, or just any general ship that you're good at, farm up the free XP, and then go through and then reset the Harugumo line. If you enjoy the Harugumo line, you can of course simply play through it and grind through it the old-fashioned way, however many times you need in order to get it done.
I'm sorry, little one.
And get those Research Bureau points. That's the trick that most players go with. That Harugumo line, again, cheapest to reset. But at the end of the day too, if you are also quite comfortable with, let's say, I don't know, German destroyers. If you are a German destroyer master, then yeah, for sure, reset the Z52 and run through it 5 times or however many times you need in order to get those Research Bureau points. It won't do you any good to reset the Harugumo line and grind your way through it if you have no idea how to play the line. Maybe you just, you know, stumbled your way through it a few years ago and just kind of leave it docked in your port. I have quite a few lines like that myself that, you know, I just kind of failed my way through them and just slammed my head against the wall enough to get to the tier 10, said, all right, that's enough of that, and just parked most of the ships for, well, the rest of their existence. I'm looking at you, Dutch cruisers, right? But anyway, yes, obviously if you have a line that you're good at and can zip on through, definitely go for that. This is of course where, if you want to really expedite things, it's time to use your economic boosters that you have been saving if you want to get through this as fast as possible. Obviously, again, if you have a line that you're comfortable with, you don't have to worry about using those economic bonuses and such to get through it any faster. So that's definitely a part of the plan there. Also, another thing too, you don't have to collect the points the second you get done regrinding the line. You can sit there and just reset the line over and over and over again, and then go in to collect the points. You do have to play a battle in each of the ships in order to get those points. So that's why some players, they'll, you know, reset the line and they think, oh, I gotta go through and I gotta play, you know, from the tier, you know, 3 or 4 on up and get those points. You don't have to do that. They will stack. You'll notice if you hover your mouse over them after you've reset the line multiple times, it'll say, you know, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, whatever you got to do. You can just wait to get that all at the end once you have reset the line enough if you want to. Obviously, if you're going to be regrinding your lines, you're going to get them anyway, but if you're just going to free XP your way through them, you don't have to worry about wasting your time, you know, resetting those lines. You do get your modules and such back and your camos back, but you do reset the line, so you won't lose any of that. That's another thing players seem to be worried about. All that goes into your inventory, and you can slap all that right back on those ships once you get done regrinding them. All it does is just resets your progress, all of the, except for the modules, of course. You know, the modules, you got to research those again, but your mods, your flags, your economic bonuses and such, that all gets removed from the ship. You can slap that right back on afterwards. Asymmetrics is still up for a little bit more, so if you want to use that to farm, that's a good thing to do. And two, if you just want some farming tips, you can check out any of my economic videos where I talk about the game's economy and explain how to farm as fast as possible. I'll link those either here in the description or in a pinned comment below if you want some tips and tricks on how to farm to your little heart's content and get through this as fast as possible. Again, the ship I would recommend is obviously the Ohio. Again, if you got that, check out one of those funner ships that I mentioned. Modules, if you have a ship that you love and you want to go for a unique upgrade, obviously this is a great time to do that right now. They don't cost as much as ships, so you could definitely take advantage of this reset and go for that right now too. So guys, that is my PSA and tutorial on the Research Bureau. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What are you going for with this with this reset? Are you going for the Ohio, one of the other ships? Are you going to be bold and go for the Gibraltar maybe? So let me know that jazz in the comments down below. Hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Have a wonderful weekend. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.